All right, well, welcome back. I'm Josh.
I'm Keith.
And I'm Erik.
And this is the Bomb Shelf. This is a Bomb Shelf whiskey. So let's try it out.
Put those bottles on the top shelf.
Joyce, what are we drinking today?
Today you are drinking Very Old Barton 80 Proof. Very Old Barton is a Kentucky straight bourbon from the Barton 1792 Distillery, which is owned by the Sazerac Company. Very Old Barton 80 Proof comes in at, you guessed it, 80 proof. We paid $11 for this bottle, with it usually costing around $10 to $12. As always, your prices may vary. Enjoy!
All right, welcome back. Let's dive in.
Wow.
Very powerful on the nose.
I could smell it like from here.
Mm-hmm.
What is that smell?
That is a floral bouquet.
Yes, it is. It's like very floral, almost medicinal, herbal.
I think I'm smelling chamomile. That is very floral and perfumey aroma.
It's very strong, but not like strong. It's not a strong scent. The scent itself is not an overpowering scent.
Right. It fills the air, but it's not an overpowering scent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just bold.
It's not like burnt toast or something. It's just a very bold, delicate, very forward, delicate note.
Here I am, but I'm gentle.
I like this.
The friendly giant.
Yes.
Or maybe it's the giant friend. There's this weird cherry note there, but it's not like the typical cherry I'm used to smelling. It's like
It's a maraschino cherry.
it's not just a maraschino cherry. It's like a candy cherry, or you know,
But I think it could be the alcohol that I'm smelling with the cherry that's giving it that maraschino.
you know,
vodka-ish.
maybe it's like a straw. I'm not sure it's cherry. Maybe like a little strawberry, but like you know, like the you know those Dip-a-Stick packets,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like you have like the cherry powder in those. That's what it smells like. The Dipstick cherry powder. Not pixie dust, like pixie sticks. Like pixie sticks are a little bit different. Like this is specifically
This is the dip.
the dip of the dipstick, whatever. What's that
Yeah.
stuff actually
The
called?
Lick
Fun
'em
dip?
Fun Dip. The
Fun
Lick 'em
Dip.
Fun
Yeah.
Dips.
Yeah.
Lick'emades or something, I think. Depends where you're from.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. The powder of a Fun Dip. Cherry. Going in for a taste?
I'm excited for this taste.
I'm getting like a dry white wine on this too.
I'm getting exactly what I smell on the.
I'm getting sweet and floral.
Exactly what I smelled. That's what I'm tasting.
I'm not getting the cherry on the palate currently, but I am getting sweet and floral. Like a rosemary?
Oh,
No.
Rosemary's more savory.
Yeah, rosemary's more savory. Like
Rose hip.
But rose.
Rose hip. That's what I'm getting.
maybe,
Rose hips.
yeah.
I'm tasting that.
A little bit of spice in the back. Leaves the tongue, the finish a little like grassy. Herbally. Like fresh cut grass. Like the way that fresh cut grass tastes.
Yeah.
Not that I eat fresh cut grass very often.
There's something there I can't.
Is it sage? There's some herb I can't place.
Yeah, I'm not very up on my herbs.
There is like a winey note to it.
Yeah.
I was getting a fruit note and I couldn't place it. I think it's wine. I think.
No, I'm getting the finish of grappa.
Yes.
The way grappa finishes.
Yeah. It's definitely a grape note,
Yeah. So yeah,
but not like a fresh grape.
not like a fresh grape or like a fresh wine. Are you familiar with grappa?
No, I am not.
All right, so you take your grapes and your vine, like you take your grapes and you make wine of it. And then you have like the pulp and stuff, and like all the. I think that's including all the vines too, right?
I think so.
Take all the mashed grapes and the vines and put all that, distill that, like ferment and distill that, and that's grappa.
Okay.
It tastes like gasoline.
Okay.
Except delicious.
No, I don't think so at least. But the finish does have like a slight hint of like grape and stuff too. Like you can tell that it had a grape base.
So the herbal aroma would be like the stems and leaves.
Right,
kinda.
exactly. Like the stems and leaves of the grapes. Mixed in with a.
I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a very.
The finish is there. It's not overwhelming.
Mm-mm.
It's a good, perfectly timed finish.
Yeah.
Not too long, not too short. Lingers just enough to pick up stuff.
Water?
Can I get a handful of drops?
Yes.
Maybe not a handful.
Yeah, better have.
It makes that rose scent a lot more dominant.
So behind, I'm still getting the cherry up front, but behind it, there is a caramel.
A sweet oak finish to it.
I'm getting like rose and maybe raisins.
Mm-hmm. Not quality raisin, like cheap generic raisins.
Aldi brand raisins.
Yeah, like Aldi brand raisins.
Worse.
Worse, I'm gonna say Aldi brand raisins are pretty good actually.
Okay,
Much
like
worse.
Walmart name brand.
Shop and Save.
Shop and Save name brand.
Yeah.
Not name brand, but like store brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walmart. But great value.
Great, yeah. They have a few different like store brands, but Great Value is like if they have more than one name store brand of the same product, Great Value is the worst. So let's say Great Value. Great Value raisins.
I do like it then.
Mm-hmm.
I think the water does bring out a little bit of astringency. I think I like it better without water.
See, I think I like it with water.
I just really got that fresh cut grass flavor on that last sip.
Yeah, it lingers on the like the back of the mid palate.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
And towards the lips a little bit too.
All right, let's talk ratings. Nose, palate, and finish.
As far as the nose goes, I think I'm gonna give it a 4. I like the notes I'm getting. It's complex, but not overly complex. It's inviting.
Mm-hmm. It's unique and interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going 4.
I am also going 4. No, I really like the nose. I wasn't necessarily getting everything you guys were getting, but I liked that cherry powdered sugar thing.
It was just so complex that something different stood out to each one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And that just makes it intriguing.
Palate.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Ooh, stepping it up.
I like the palate. There were I enjoyed every note that I got out of it, which is relatively rare. And I appreciate it with the water.
I'm going to max it out.
5.
Yeah, I'm going 5 for the same reasons that Erik had. The complexities, the
Perfect.
yeah, I really liked it. The uniqueness of it. I mean, floral aromas and rose notes. That's something that can come out in a whiskey. It's something that I've never really identified before, and it blew me away.
All right. I'm gonna go with the 4. I just thought the nose and the palate were very consistent between the two, and just kind of kept it stayed the course for me. I was not surprised by the palate, the nose led me straight into it. Nice flow. Finish. I think the finish is probably the downfall of this whiskey.
Yeah.
And it's not even a big downfall. It's just like, it's a little hill.
Right.
I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay.
It's You're right, it is the downfall. It's less than the palate. However, it lasts the perfect amount of time, in my opinion. The notes are still there through the palate, or through the finish.
Right.
It is, though, with how good the palate is, it's a little disappointing on the finish.
Yeah, I have to agree with everything Erik said, except I'm going to go 3.5 because it's a downgrade off the palate, so I have to downgrade it off the palate.
I'm doing the same thing, 3.5.
Yeah.
Which is still a perfectly good rating.
Yeah.
That was delicious. So let's talk review. Let's talk
What, the experts?
the expert site. Yeah, I got nothing.
Nothing.
Another one.
I got no ratings. Couldn't find any. And I'll tell you why later.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say right now why.
You made this in your basement.
No, he bought it from
No, I'm gonna tell you later in this
some guy that
video.
lives in a van down by the river.
I found one tasting on this. They didn't provide a nose.
Okay.
They provided a palate and a finish. The palate was tropical fruits, vanilla, oak, caramel.
Okay.
And then their tasting note for the finish was just dry.
It is dry.
So,
Their tasting note is dry.
yeah. This is really hard. It was really hard to find things. So let's talk guesses of proof, of what type of whiskey this is, and how much would you pay for it? How much you think MSRP is?
This one is going to shock me. I know it is. As far as proof, I'm gonna say 84.
Okay.
I hate guessing type. Really do.
Is it because it makes you feel stupid?
Yeah, pretty much. And I don't like to feel stupid. So I'm gonna save that for last. As far as MSRP, I'm gonna guess this retails 24.
Okay.
And I personally would pay 24 to 26.
All right.
Actually, you know what? I might go up to 28.
So you'd be willing to pay more than what you think MSRP is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with him. $28. Retail, I'm going to guess it's somewhere between 25 and 28. I'd be willing to go the high end on my guess. Mid-range on the proof, mid 80 range on the proof.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere between 84 and 86, maybe 88. Type. Is this an American whiskey?
It is from America. What do you think it is American?
I was thinking it was American.
Okay.
I don't think it's a Kentucky straight bourbon. It might be an alternate bourbon.
An alternate.
Well, I mean, there's certain rules to be a Kentucky straight.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just bourbon or blended bourbon. I don't think it's a blended bourbon.
I do think it's a blended bourbon.
I'm just going to stick with American whiskey, like a Tennessee whiskey or Texas whiskey or something
Okay.
like
But
that.
you think it's specifically not Kentucky?
Right.
Okay.
I think it's a blended bourbon.
I mean, it could be a Kentucky rye, but I don't think it's a bourbon.
Okay. All right, reveal time. Today we had Very Old Barton 80 proof.
Wow.
That is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Yeah, and I bought that for you. For this program.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. So I had to specify 80 proof because Very Old Barton comes in, without changing their name, 80 proof, 86 proof, 90 proof, 100 proof. The 100 proof one is a bottled and bond. Proof, 80, obviously. Age, 3 years.
At least 36 months.
At least, yeah, so 3 years. Mashbill is 75% corn, 50% rye, and 10% malted barley. Cask type, new charred oak barrel, it's bourbon. Distillery, the Barton 1792 distillery. Price we paid, you told me $11.
$11.11 with tax. I remember that because $11.11 is such an odd price.
As far as general price, I had a hard time finding out what the general price was. The general price, according to the sources I could find, said like about $10.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, here's the catch. There is a catch. Supposedly, this says a limited availability, not limited like allocation certain states, but as in it's not very available outside of Kentucky.
Right.
So if you're in Kentucky, you can probably find this anywhere. If you're not in Kentucky, you may have a little harder time finding this. And really, that's true of almost, I believe it's of any Very Old Barton product.
This specific bottle I got at Walmart Wine and Spirits.
In Kentucky.
In Kentucky.
Yep. So for those who don't know,
That makes me sad.
he is from Kentucky, so
Yes.
he's got family there visiting, so this is how we were able to purchase this. But if you can get this in Kentucky, lucky you. So, having tasted it before, how much different was this for you this time around?
Very different. Setting makes a difference. Bias.
Yep.
I knew when I first tasted it, I knew I was buying a $10 whiskey, and I was not impressed with it. A blind tasting, completely different. So
there you go. Now, note that we do have whiskeys before we do our videos, so we are being affected by it, but we like to have a control, some sort of baseline before we go into things. Still very good though.
yes.
I will say, and now I knew that this was a 1792 distillery. I thought the notes I got off this were reminiscent of the notes that I got off of 1792 small batch.
Yes. Just
So-
watered down.
Yeah, just watered down because it's like a 90 some proof, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's got a little more age to it. But I was also thrown off by the color when I poured it out. I was like, so this will be. I am going to include this in our budget battle, even though it is limited availability for non-Kentuckians. We'll see how far it goes, and if it doesn't get very far, maybe I'll just put whatever. Or if it does win, maybe I'll put like the second place one in. Let me know in the comments below how you would like to see us treat this sort of limited availability whiskey. And yeah. All right. That being said, a toast. Actually, real quick before that, if you like this content, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified, just hit that little bell icon. And that being said, now we'll do a toast. May the winds of fortune sail you.
May you sail a gentle sea.
May it always be the other guy who says,
This drink's on me.
And actually, this one is on me.